The ocean was calm, but the energy was anything but. A stuffed unicorn floated in the dark waves as a voice whispered through static, "Good night, baby. You are loved." Moments later, a woman screamed from the deck. Someone was missing. Before we could see who, the screen cut to black. The sound of waves faded into the rhythmic thrum of jet engines. The Housewives were on their way to Canoan, a luxurious tropical escape meant to heal friendships and cleanse chaos. But in Salt Lake City, peace is always a temporary illusion. The women boarded the plane in designer chaos, Whitney rolling her eyes, Heather glued to her phone, Lisa pretending to scroll through emails while clearly eavesdropping. One person was missing, Bronwyn. Her name lingered like perfume and poison in the air. Whitney's confessional summed it up perfectly. Bronwyn's not coming yet? Shocking. I mean, if I were facing identity theft charges, I'd be late too. When the women arrived at the marina, sunlight hit the water like diamonds, but no sparkle could outshine their egos. Waiting for them was Captain Jason Chambers, effortlessly charming, Chef Ben Robinson, already stressed, and Chief Stew Daisy Kelleher, clipboard in hand and chaos in her eyes. It was the Bravo crossover no one saw coming. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City meets Below Deck, Down Under. The ladies strutted aboard the yacht like royalty. Angie smirked at the crew and said, "You'll never work so hard for your money in your life." Daisy's polite smile barely masked her inner scream. The yacht hadn't even left the dock before Brittany called dibs on Captain Jason. "I'm on a 30-day break from Jared," she announced, "which means I'm free to flirt." Whitney shot her a warning. "Say his name and you'll get splashed." Brittany, naturally, couldn't resist. Jared! Jared! Meredith didn't even hesitate. She picked up a pitcher of water and dumped it straight on Brittany's head. Laughter erupted, cameras zoomed in, and Brittany's fake lashes floated like little boats in the pool. 3 pours later, the women were shrieking, "She's unhinged," while Daisy whispered to Ben, "And they haven't even started drinking yet." Before we get deeper into this storm, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Trust me, this yacht trip goes so far off course, even Captain Jason can't steer it back. Now, back to the deck, and the disaster brewing below it. In the galley, Chef Ben groaned as Alicia Harris, the sous chef, complained. "They said this would be your hardest charter." Ben rolled his eyes. "If the tip doesn't reflect that, I'm stealing all their jewelry." Meanwhile, Heather was on a sea bob with Captain Jason, zipping through the ocean and laughing like a teenager. Brittany watched from the deck, jealousy written all over her face. Heather smirked when she got back on board. "Relax, Brittany. We're just friends. Well, we have history, but that's it." The crew froze. The Housewives gasped. Brittany's smile vanished faster than her self-control. Downstairs, Lisa was already gossiping with Whitney about Bronwyn. "She's avoiding everyone," Lisa said. "Probably doesn't want to answer questions about her little fraud issue." Whitney leaned in, her voice dripping with curiosity. "You mean the identity theft stuff?" Lisa tilted her head. "I didn't say that." But when Bronwyn finally arrived, hours late, sunglasses covering half her face, she didn't come quietly. She found Whitney first and dragged her into her room. "You won't believe what Lisa's been saying," Bronwyn whispered. "She's spreading rumors that your jewelry line sources from Alibaba, and she's calling me Conwyn, like con artist, before the headlines even dropped." Whitney's jaw dropped. "Lisa did what?" Bronwyn wasn't done. "She's playing all of us. Watch." Moments later, Whitney ran straight to Heather. "Lisa's the leak," she said breathlessly. "She's the one feeding gossip to the blogs. Bronwyn told me everything." Heather crossed her arms. "Lisa's smarter and darker than anyone thinks. She keeps receipts. She's pissed about Bronwyn, and she's making sure the world knows it." A plan began forming. Heather would confront Lisa, but she needed backup. She turned to Meredith, hoping for support. "You saw what Lisa did last year," Heather reminded her. "You know how she operates." Meredith sighed. "Heather, you need to own your part, too." Heather's face hardened. "So you're not standing with me?" Meredith smiled thinly. "I'm standing back." That night, the women gathered for dinner on the deck, the moonlight reflecting off their sequined outfits. It should have been beautiful, but beneath the calm surface, something ugly was waiting to explode. Heather started carefully, her voice calm. "Lisa, I need to talk to you. I think you're the source of all the dirt in this group." Lisa froze, wineglass midair. "Excuse me?" Meredith chimed in. Apparently whenever you're upset, something gets leaked. The table went silent. You could hear the waves hitting the hull. Lisa's jaw tightened. You're accusing me of leaking stories about my friends? That's insane. Heather didn't blink. Then why does every headline trace back to you? Lisa's face went pale. You're out of your mind. She slammed her napkin down and stood up. I'm done. I don't need this. She stormed away, heels echoing across the deck, cameras following her as she grabbed her phone. John, I'm leaving. They're all ganging up on me again. Heather watched her go, a mix of guilt and satisfaction flickering across her face. She turned to the others. She needed to hear it. Downstairs, Mary looked up from her face mask as Heather entered. You did what needed to be done, Mary said without looking up. Real friends don't hide the truth. Angie nodded beside her, whispering, It's game over for Lisa. But as the yacht rocked gently against the current, the eerie calm returned. Out on the water, the stuffed unicorn floated past again, the same one from the opening scene. The wind carried a soft echo. Good night, baby, you are loved. The morning sun shimmered across the turquoise water, but on the yacht no one noticed. The air was thick with tension, and the echoes of last night's confrontation lingered like a storm cloud refusing to pass. Lisa sat alone on the deck, phone in hand, scrolling through texts and muttering, I can't believe this, after everything I've done for them. Meanwhile, Heather paced near the railing, replaying the dinner scene in her mind. She should have been satisfied, right? She had called Lisa out. She had taken a stand. But now, watching Lisa sulk silently, a twinge of doubt crept in. Had she pushed too hard? Down the hall, Bronwyn whispered to Whitney in hushed tones. Lisa is playing dumb, but she's hiding something. I can feel it. This fraud thing? It's just the tip of the iceberg. Whitney nodded, wide-eyed. We need proof before it blows up even more. Brittany, still dripping from Meredith's water attack the previous day, had a new plan. Target Captain Jason. She cornered him near the sea bob, batting her eyelashes and leaning a little too close. Jason smiled politely, trying to deflect, but Brittany's boldness left him flustered. Heather caught the moment from afar, arms crossed. Oh no, she muttered. Not today. Deckhand Eddie was silently observing everything, shaking his head. These people are a disaster, he thought. He'd seen chaos before, but this was a new level. Between the water fights, the jealous glances, and the whispers, he didn't know what would break first, the crew's patience or the friendships aboard. By late morning, tensions erupted again. Lisa, fed up with the constant accusations, called a meeting in the main lounge. Enough, she snapped, voice sharp. You all think I'm plotting against you, leaking stories, stirring drama. That's not who I am. Heather leaned in, voice low but unwavering. Then why does it always trace back to you? Angie, sipping her mimosa, rolled her eyes. Honestly, I think everyone's overreacting. Can we not enjoy a vacation without losing our minds? Mary, always the voice of reason, shook her head. Angie, it's not over. Not until trust is rebuilt, and right now, it's shattered. Meanwhile, Meredith decided to play her own game. Quiet, composed, she leaned toward Bronwyn. I know you're worried about Lisa, she said softly, but don't get too distracted. There are bigger things coming. Bronwyn's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Meredith smirked. You'll see soon enough. As lunch rolled around, the yacht's atmosphere became almost unbearable. Heather tried to mend bridges, but Lisa refused. The two women avoided eye contact, exchanging cold glares that could cut steel. Brittany, sensing a perfect opportunity, leaned over the railing again, trying to charm Jason while snapping a subtle photo for her social media. And then it happened. The ultimate reality TV moment. Bronwyn, tired of whispers and suspicions, publicly confronted Lisa. I know you knew about the fraud charges before anyone else. I know you spread it, she accused, voice echoing across the deck. The other women leaned in, hungry for drama. Lisa's face went pale. I didn't, she stammered. I swear, you have no proof. Heather, seething, whispered to Mary, she always has an answer ready. Too perfect. Angie rolled her eyes. We're never going to get anywhere if we keep pointing fingers. But before the argument could escalate further, Captain Jason stepped in, exasperated. Ladies, please, we're here to enjoy this charter, not drown each other in suspicion. The women paused, realizing the absurdity. For a moment, the tension lifted, just slightly, replaced by the realization that they were all trapped together on this yacht. There was no escape as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting orange and pink across the waves. The crew prepared for dinner. Yet the drama wasn't over. Brittany cornered Jason one last time, attempting to stir jealousy, while Heather and Lisa remained locked in a silent war of glances. Bronwyn quietly plotted her next move, determined to protect her secrets. And Meredith? She watched, knowing the real chaos hadn't even begun. The yacht rocked gently in the ocean, but inside, the storm was just starting. Secrets, lies, and betrayals hung in the air like the salt on the sea breeze. Every glance, every whisper, every smirk held the promise of disaster. And just as the night settled, the stuffed unicorn floated past again, eerie as ever. The same recording played softly. "Good night, baby. You are loved." Somewhere in the shadows, someone, or something, was watching. The camera pans out, the waves glimmering under the moonlight. The crossover that promised sun, fun, and luxury instead left a trail of chaos, jealousy, and unresolved conflicts. One thing is certain. On this charter, no alliance is safe, no secret stays buried, and no one walks away unscathed. The episode ends, leaving viewers gasping, whispering, and already reaching for the next installment.